My name is Kevin McGrath. I'm a WebSphere Application Server GIE, and I've been with Origina for about 3 years. And as I started to play with systems administration, I started to hear the name word WebSphere. And as I studied WebSphere, it became really fascinating because it's a whole ecosystem. It's not just a single product. It's a place where multiple products and multiple ideas come together. I wrote a couple of books. The books did well, and I got to meet with and work with some very interesting people, both inside IBM and outside of IBM. Problem solving is a lot of fun. Taking a really complex problem down to its ultimate roots is a lot of fun, and I get to play and get paid for it. I get to have fun and have a profession out of it. The challenges today, the term for the challenges today really is technical debt. The people who created the systems that we depend on today, those folks have moved on. Some of them have retired, some of them have gone on to other professions. And the knowledge that those original folks had in their head, that's left the organization. So much of what we do is fill in that technical debt, that technical gap between the expertise that built these systems and the expertise you need to keep those systems running. The people who built the systems know why they made critical decisions. That why is missing in the experience of the administrators today. So we help with very practical issues, but we also help provide a rationale for why those practical issues exist and what trade-offs get made and where's the benefit in making those trade-offs. We provide the soul behind the mechanics. Every piece of software goes through a life cycle. You create the software, and no matter how talented the creators are, there's always something the creators didn't think of. So there's a period right after software gets created when we're getting the bugs out of the software. In terms of WebSphere, that period pretty well played out by 2008. Okay, so now we're 12, 14, 15 years after the last real bug has come out of WebSphere. And what we're really doing is extending the life of somebody's capital investment. WebSphere itself was always meant to be an integration point. It was always meant to be where different pieces of technology came together and formed a coherent whole. The bugs are out of that system. But the challenge now is adjusting that legacy system to the realities of today's world. There's new devices that have to be integrated. There are new security threats that we have to defend against. So it's taking a working system that represents a very significant capital investment on the part of our customers and helping protect that capital investment, extend that capital investment another 5, another 10 years. Communications protocols evolve over time, just like technology does. And the heart and soul of secure communications is encryption. How we do encryption has evolved over the years, and it's become more sophisticated, more intricate, more advanced. And today, the kinds of encryptions that we consider routine were beyond the imagination of engineers in 2003, 2004, 2005. So a very real challenge that we help IBM customers with is adapting existing WebSphere installations to the most sophisticated, most modern communications technologies. Along about American Thanksgiving, November of 2021, one of the most commonly used software routines in computer science was discovered to have a bug. The name for that bug was Log4j. It was a very dangerous bug in a piece of software that's been distributed worldwide. We helped customers remediate that bug. We are helping customers today remediate that bug. When we take on a new customer, it's a little bit different from the way a software manufacturer takes on a customer. To the people who actually wrote WebSphere, they had to pay for software development that stretched, if I remember correctly, over 15 years. And so the business problem for the folks who wrote WebSphere is getting enough customers in a large enough space to pay for the development, and then ultimately to pay for the upkeep of WebSphere Application Server. With Origina, it's a much different approach. Every customer is special to us. We don't have millions and millions of customers worldwide. We have very specific customers in very specific industries. And for us, supporting those customers is a very personal process. We know our customers' engineers. Our customers' engineers learn our names. So we get to know the talents and the limitations of the people we serve. We get to phrase our answers in terms of the talents and the limitations of the people that we serve. It's a very different world, a very much more personal world. It's a lot of fun, to be honest with you. It starts out as we'll call you when something doesn't work. And in fact, that does happen. Sooner or later, something goes wrong that's serious enough that it requires multiple disciplines to solve the problem. And if it requires multiple disciplines on our side, almost always we've got to talk to people with corresponding talents in our customer organizations. And that means that we get to know really the depth of the organization. We get to know not just the people who work the software from day to day, but the people who are responsible for architecting the solutions in which that software lives. And it becomes it becomes very much a learning experience. It's very proactive. And it's not just how do you get through today, it's how do you reach tomorrow. You need to be a trusted advisor to fix complex systems. If you're going to be a break-fix solution provider, you're going to play your whole career playing a game we call whack-a-mole. Problem pops up, whack. Problem pops up, whack. Those problems are really symptoms of a much broader pattern. What's the pattern? And how do you solve the problems presented by that pattern in a way that respects your existing capital investments? And every ticket that comes in is a window into the multi-billion-dollar decision that shapes our customers' futures. I've been lucky enough in my career. I don't really have a job. I have an adventure. And I tend to bond very closely to the people that I work with. And it's almost an extended family. There are a lot of places that I can take my talent. I want to take it someplace where I feel like I'm part of a team, where I feel like I'm part of a family. Origina became that for me. All right, if we look at the way our industry treats customer support, a customer calls into a call center. The call center has a script that they recite. At the end of that script, a customer gets access to somebody who has another diagnostic script. And maybe at the end of that experience, a customer actually gets access to somebody who understands the software well enough to have a coherent professional conversation. Up until that third, fourth, fifth step in, you're always talking to somebody who's reading from a script. The script is very well thought out. The script is designed to make the delivery of support a very efficient process for the selling organization. The problem that you have with that model, though, is that you never get beyond the symptoms that made somebody call. You never explore the reasons that the symptoms surfaced. With Meet the Experts, you have the opportunity to talk to people who have very deep, I've got half a century of expertise. Matt Woodford has 35 years of experience. Almost all of our GIEs have a minimum of 25 years experience. And you get 3 or 4 of us in the same room, and you're going to get some interesting viewpoints about what your software is designed to do, what it can be made to do, how that marries your company's needs, and how that can support your journey into the future. The Meet the Experts session isn't a break-fix kind of get-together. It's a let's explore the heart and soul of what this software does and what we could do with our existing capital investment.